Hi, I welcome you once more again to AB Math Education YouTube channel. Today we continue to look at a quadratic function. We are changing it from the standard to the vertex. We have already done when it's in the vertex. How can we reverse it back to the standard? So today we are doing the vis-a-vis. We have to be able to do both sides. As I have been telling my student, you know how to drive forward, then you have to be able to reverse. And that's exactly what we are going to do today. There is a lot of method that we could able to use to do this. Completing the square, that's not what we are going to consider right now. Along the line, we will be doing that. We have already done a video on that too. But along the line, we will do more video to suit the Algebra 2. But today we are just using x is equals to negative b divided by a. And now we are getting this one from the quadratic formula. As we are moving along, we are going to teach you all that, but most of you already know that. But we are getting this piece from the quadratic formula. So we have three different unique examples that I would like us to do to bring the understanding. So we need our AB. How are we going to get our AB? We are comparing it with the standard. We know that the standard have to be a x squared plus b x plus c. So looking at here, we know that the a is going to come from here, the b is going to come from here, and the c is going to come from here. We are not going to need the c, but there's no number here, so we assume that it's supposed to be 1. So here we have our a is equals to 1, b is equals to 10, and we need our s coordinate, and we are using the formula negative b over 2a, which is 2 times a. So this implies that our s coordinate is going to be negative. The b is 10, a is 1. You can put it in the parenthesis or the bracket. It means multiplication. And when we do that, that means we are getting x is equals to negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. Once we get this number, we are going to plug it right in place of anywhere we see x. We are going to plug it. So it's happened 2 times. We are going to plug it to get our y coordinate. So y is equals to x squared plus 10x plus 25. This one was given. So now for us to get our y component, anywhere we see x, we got it to be negative 5. So negative 5 all squared plus 10 times negative 5 plus 27. Bringing it over here. So when we do that, negative 5 all squared means negative 5 times negative 5. That will give us positive 25. 10 times negative 5 will give us negative 50. Plus 27. So you compute this one. 25 minus 50 is going to give us negative 25 and plus 27, and that will give us positive 2. So now our s coordinate is x is equals to negative 5 and y is equals to 2. Because of the Vertex formula, sometimes we use h and a k. So because of that, this x here is the same as the h. All right, and this one is the same as a k. Don't be confused with that. So the Vertex form of a quadratic equation can be written as x minus h all squared plus k. The reason why I'm using h and a k, I don't want you to be confused with that. The coordinate, we got a coordinate. And the coordinate is that. And this coordinate that we got is what is the vertex point. And another name for vertex is the turning point. We need to know all that. So now y is equals to, when we plug everything in, we get y is equals to x. The x component or the h is negative. So negative become positive. So it's 5 squared And here it was positive, here is positive, so positive times positive is positive, we get 2. So we have able to change this standard to become the vertex here. So let me bring it closer for us to see. So the standard that was given was x squared plus 10x plus 27. And we could see that they all of them are equivalent, but they have different characteristics or the different features that they are reviewing. So when it's here, we see that it's really visual for us to see the turning point, which is the same as the vertex. And when it's here, when it's in the standard, we also see something that along the line we'll be talking about. We see this one here, and this one, when we graph it, we realize that that's going to be the y-intercept. So each form is really, really important. Somebody say, why are we doing all that? Hey, it was standard, it's cool. Yes, we need to have modification. That's the reason why we have iPhone 13 and now there's iPhone 14. All of them have some unique features that is really necessary for life, and that is the reason why we need to know all. Let's look at example 2. So example 2, realize that there is a component that we are missing. We don't have the C over here, but still is a quadratic equation, right? So we have to able to find our A and our B. In case we're looking for C, because there is nothing, it's 0. In the near future, when we get to the quadratic formula, if there is no C, we assume it is 0. That means our A is equals to 3 and the B is equals to -6. We want to find our X component using the formula which is up here. So negative, the B is already negative, so let's put it in parentheses, negative 2 times 3. Negative times negative is +6, and then +6, and that will give us 1. Now we are going to plug this 1 here for this and for that to get our y component. When we do that, we get y is equals to 3 times 1 all squared minus 6 times 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And -6 times 1 is -6. And when we compute it, we will get -3. So our x and y coordinate, which is the same as the h and the k, is equals to 1, -3. So now we are going to put it in the vertex form. So the general vertex form is x minus h all squared plus k. So that implies that we get our x is positive. So positive times negative is going to be -1 here squared. And here negative times positive is going to be negative. And this is the vertex form. We see that when it's in the vertex form, we see the turning point. This is the turning point. And when it's in the standard, we see the y-intercept visually. Cool, you see? The second example went by quick because we already know that. So I hope you can do the next example. So the next example is here. So what is that? Yes, it's a quadratic equation. You have to be able to find your A and B, but you gotta be a little careful. For it to be in the standard, you have to be y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. All of them have to be on one side. Now this one is isolated, so you have to bring it. I have to bring this one here. So bringing it, that means you're adding here 4x squared and you're adding here 4x squared. 4x squared equals to 0. Now you can, it's equals to 0. So from here you can say, oh, y is equals to, now I'm going to arrange it in a ascending order, x squared and then plus 4x and then plus 3. If it's in this form, we can find our A, B, C. But as you get more understanding, you could see that, yeah, the coefficient, when we talk about coefficient is a number standing in front of a variable. The coefficient of the x is always the b. So you could have said, oh, yeah, it's, you might say it's -4, but you have to come to this side, so it's +4. So you don't need to do all this step. But for the understanding's sake, that's the reason why I did this step. Now we're going to plug in here to get our s coordinate, which is the same as the h. For us to get our s coordinate, we know that our a is 1, b is 4. So we get -4, 2 times 1, and that becomes -4 divided by 2, which is -2. Now we plug it into the given equation. The given equation is this one. Okay, we are going to plug it in here. It was this one, but we have rearranged it for it to look like this, okay? So y is equals to -2 all squared plus 4 times -2 plus 3. You can pause and finish it by yourself at this moment. You have to be able to do it, and then you continue to see if you got it right or not. -2 squared is 4. 4 times -2 is going to be -8, and then plus 3. So here when you do the math, you get -1. So now our x and the y coordinate, which is the same as our h and k, is equals to -2 and -1. Remember, this is the turning point. And the turning point is the same as the vertex. Then we can able to write our equation. At this moment, you don't need to write a formula. You have to be able to be familiar with the formula. So y, this is always switching. The first one is always switching. So it's going to be +2 all squared. And this one remains the same, so -1. And this is the vertex form, and this is the standard form. And when it's in the standard, we see the y-intercept, and when it's in the vertex, we see the turning point or the vertex point. And that's all that I have for you today. Please go ahead and subscribe if today is your first time. Click the notification bell. Anytime we drop a video, you'll get notice, and then you have chance to study with us. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.